Hello students, today we are going to understand the concept of color schemes, and we are also going to discuss about conditional statements. Conditional statements. Okay. So let me start with the first example. Let's discuss with the color scheme. Students, I am making up a sketch example of the width and height is 300, 300, and I am plotting up an ellipse. Say 30, 40 is the x and the y axis, and say 60, 70 is the width and height. So I can see an ellipse coming up here. 30, 40 is the center point, and 60 is the complete width of the ellipse, and 70 is the height. The default color for this ellipse is coming white, which can be changed by using a fill command. If I give to fill command only one parameter, say the default is 255. If I give 0, it indicates the thickness to be, it's like a black, it will come, okay. And so it is a, if you give one parameter, it indicates the black and white scale which you want to specify. The number should be within 0 and 255. So I give say 127, it would be a bit, it will be gray, and the 255 is the default color for the fill, which will be white. Suppose I need to use a combination of three different colors, then we can, the fill function is an overloaded function. We can specify with three parameters also, red, green and blue. So if I need to be ellipse to be completely red in color, then I give a maximum number to the red, 255, and for green and blue say 0. So I can see now the ellipse is coming up to be red in color. Students, same way, if I want to make another ellipse next to it, which would be say blue in color or green in color, and the third ellipse next to the second ellipse, which would be blue in color. So we'll be dealing with the coordinates also, and for the ellipse, and also for the color, understanding the color scheme here. Student, first for the coordinates, already this ellipse has come from 30, 40, and 60 is the width. So it's already occupied a 60 width. If I want the second ellipse to come next to it, okay, so the center point, okay, I need to keep it is going to be how much, because the first two coordinates indicates the center point. So already till here it is 60, and the center point leaving 30 pixels from here, okay, then the center point should come. So I will change the x-axis. First I'll change the color. I want it this time to be green, so green is given a 255 number, and this, and the second ellipse, x-axis I'm changing to 90, okay, then the y-axis is 40, the width 60, and the height 70. So when I run my application, I can see that, okay, the another ellipse is coming just next to it. Student, again we'll discuss why it is 90. See, this complete ellipse is taking a width of 60. The second ellipse which I plot, being the ellipse mode is center, okay, what will happen is that it start from, okay, this complete ellipse will, half part will take 30, so 60 plus 30, this is 90. So 90 will come a center point from here, that is the x-axis. The top would be the y-axis, and then I plot up a complete ellipse of a width of 60 and a height of 70. If I want to plot the third ellipse, students, what should be the coordinates then? This complete ellipse is taken the space of width of 90. So I need to get a new point somewhere here, leaving 30 pixels, okay. So, and then a center point would come, and then a new ellipse would be drawn of 60 width and 70 height. So I'll now add up with a new fill command, 0, 0, this time a blue and an ellipse. This time it would be 120. 120 comma 40, the center point will come to x and y, and then the width and height. Students, I can see the, okay, it is 90 already. Okay, 90, and then to specify, okay, the it is taken up 90. Okay, 90 was, sorry, 90 and 60 should start from 150, sorry. Okay, so because y, student, 90 was this point from here, it is taking up 30, which is 120, and then 150 indicate this point from here, the center point, and it is taking the next 30 from here. Okay, so it should start from 150. So student, this is the way in which we deal with the coordinates. We modify, we see the output, we change things, okay, and to try to understand. Now students, I am getting all the three ellipses on the screen. What if I need like a user or probably a random ellipse to come up, either sometime red, sometime green, or sometime blue. I don't want all the three ellipses to be pop up each time when I run my application. Okay, so this time I am having a criteria, a condition. Condition is that sometimes a red ellipse should appear, sometimes a green ellipse to appear, sometimes a blue ellipse to appear. Okay, so for students, in such cases we have to use the concept of conditional statement, which is my next topic. Okay, conditional statement indicates that though in my program I'll be having multiple lines written, but all lines won't be executed each time. The processor would skip some lines and execute some another lines depending upon what I tell the processor to do, or what command or what line I tell the processor to skip. So we'll understand the conditional statements here, students. I am modifying this example now. Okay, I just control. Okay, say there's a conditional statement. There's a syntax for it. Okay, for using the conditional statement, let me declare one variable here with the name, say, flip, and a pre-built function I'm using with the name random. If you just check first the output of this random function, what it displays. So when I run my example, you can see the println command will give the statement on the console here. Okay, the value of the random, what it displays. So you can see that it's giving me a random number. Okay, if when I write random 3, it generates a random number which the program also doesn't know what number would come between 0 to 3. It will be greater than 0 and less than 3. It also considered the fractional values. So right now it gave me 1.978. If I rerun my example, 0.133. So it is greater than 0. It's always greater than 0 and less than 3. 2.464, which is less than 3. So student, it generates a random number for me. Okay, 1.0 something. So I can use this, the number is stored in this variable flip. Now I can use this flip variable to decide on what output to randomly display, either a red ellipse or the green ellipse or the blue ellipse. So for that, student, I'm going to use a keyword with the name if, because I also don't know what the value of if could be. Okay, what the value of flip could be. I'm writing if flip, if in the round bracket, if flip is greater than 2, okay, then what block to be executed. Okay, I'm mentioning this block to be executed. Else if flip is greater than 1, I'm telling him this block to be executed. Else if flip is greater than 0, telling the third block to be executed. Now these three blocks are written separately on basis on some condition. So how this conditional statement works, students? Okay, for an if condition, it always checks the result which will appear in the statement here, the condition here, and the condition is either true or false, a boolean value, either true or false. So when I run for the first time, I can see here that the value of flip is 2.89, which is greater than 2. Okay, so this part is satisfying a boolean, so it gives me a boolean answer, true. Yes, the value of flip generated by the computer is 2.89, which is greater than 2. Okay, so and I've written the condition, if it's greater than 2, execute this part. So that's why I'm getting a red ellipse here. If I rerun my example, okay, again the random value generated greater than 2, again run it. Okay, yes, this time the flip value random value generated inside flip a value of 1.74, which is not greater than 2. So what happens is that as per the processing execution, always it will start from the top, from the first. If it comes here, the flip value this time is 1.74. It checks 1.74 is greater than 2. No, the condition is not true. If the condition is not true, it generates a boolean value of false, and it will go to the next else if statement to check whether this satisfies the condition or not. Okay, so 1.74 is greater than 1. Yes, the condition is true, and this block of code would be executed. So it's like a ladder, either from a block of nested if, this is called nested if, from a block of if statements, which is if, else if, and else if, they all club together, and only a one block which satisfies the condition would be executed. If the first block satisfies the condition, the processor won't go into the other blocks at all. If the first block gives a boolean answer of false, then the processor will go to the second block and check whether it gives me true or false. If this one also gives me false, it will go to the third block and check. So if the condition is true, it will execute the block and come out. If the condition is false, then it will, in the first block, then it will go to the second block. The second block is also false, it will go to the third block. So we have, students, some output to make you believe how it works. See, this time it generated 0 point value, the 0.85, which is, okay, of course not greater than 2, neither is greater than 1, okay, but it's greater than 0. So it went to the third block statement, and I'm getting the ellipse, which is the third one. Okay, so we are going to discuss, there's a study material provided to you. So we are going to discuss about using the study material. Okay, and you're going to try some examples from that side.